Hi everybody. I always get nervous when I first come up here, so just let me get past that first sweaty bit, you know, when I calm down, and hopefully I work the thing right. Yes, I do get to travel around. In fact, I'm sick of traveling. I travel so much. I've just come back from America and the Philippines. I spend 6 months back and forth in the Philippines and 5 months here back and forth, so sometimes I can be here for a week, sometimes for 4 days, sometimes for a month if I'm really lucky. Because I like to spend quite a bit of time in the Philippines in amongst everyone, making things happen. And Perth, which I'm going back to next week for 4 days, gets the odd 4 days or a week when I can fit it in. But I prefer here. It's the best. I live just up in Ubud, which is not far away, so if some of you really need to catch up with me after, I'll be here till the 27th, 28th, and then back on the 31st as well. I found out through Roger Hamilton that I'm a star creator supporter, and that I brand, and I sort of learned how to deal with that, which was probably the start of my journey to be where I am now. Before that, I worked all my life for other people, and just did everything great for them, but not really for myself. So I started a company in Australia, and I started learning about internet marketing and what we needed to do to be number one, which then led me on a journey into becoming a trainer for NLP and timeline therapy and hypnotherapy, which I'm sort of involved in on a daily level. And I also started doing workshops on internet marketing to learn all there is to know about that. And then I started outsourcing, which then drew me into building a company in the Philippines, which is where I am now. So we have a staff of about 50 people. Currently, we are set up as a company. We are not individual freelancers or anything like that. So we run it, quite legally. And I'm very big, of course, being in the health and wellness, and I'm very alternative medicine. I preach a lot to people, or just give them information and hope that it gives them something, to take with them. So I also try to recondition my team, because they're very conditioned over there with religion and government, and also with processed food. So I spend a lot of time teaching them about health and mindset, changing their mindset and everything like that. So we have a pretty good team. Most of them are very loyal. They've stuck through thick and thin with me, which is really good. We get training from outside as well. So I deal a lot. I actually mix with the big boys in the internet marketing, which is very lucky for me. So I get to find a lot of stuff that has quite impact in the marketing, which I'm going to be showing you. So that's my story, and I know John Abbott, and that's why I'm here now. The very first time he invited me here, he said, I will ask you the questions so that you can answer, because he knew I would be nervous, and when I got here, the prick wasn't even here. But thank God for Shane and Terry at the time too. But anyway, I knew one of the audience, so and I knew she dealt with a bit of outsourcing, so I called her up and I said, come and help me out. So she asked me, which was really great. Anyway, so that's my company, just simply Outsourcing, and I based the whole thing around exactly what you guys are doing here. So, how outsourcing works, the why, the what, the who, the when, and we're going to go through these questions of why, what is outsourcing, which probably most of you know anyway. Who can outsource? When should you outsource? And how can you outsource? All those things there. Now, some of you have probably got some experience already in the outsourcing world. That's really cool. And some may just a little bit, and some may none at all. So if you want to ask questions, that's fine as well. So the 10 questions, I've just changed this, that most people face when outsourcing. I based this questionnaire on questions that you guys that have been previously here before have been asking me. And they relate on, just quickly, because I'm going to do them one by one, about your businesses, what you have at the moment, what you don't have, and what you're looking for as well. So we'll just go through these one by one, and then if you have any questions added to them, I'm happy for you to ask at the time, just quick ones, so that then we don't run out of time after. My business is small and only starting out. How can I use outsourcing? There's different ways that you can do that. You can actually go freelance and hire your own personal VA that you then have to spend time training and understanding their culture and getting them to understand your needs. We have packages. I don't actually hire out full-time VAs on a one-on-one. I found it very frustrating that people... Yeah. VA, virtual assistant. Yeah. So virtual assistant, sorry, so that's the geek that thinks everybody knows everything. Thank you. You're my kind of person, ask the questions. So what I found that people just didn't quite have the patience or the understanding when they weren't there to see or understand who they were dealing with. They were just dealing with them over Skype. There was a lot of, what's the word I want, anger and everything like that. There was a lot of stress on me and my part in the in-between to try and make things match. So we stopped renting out like full-time VAs. We now do packages. So what happens is that you can organise a package that then you deal with only when you want to deal with, but you deal with one person who speaks fairly good English, called a project manager, and then that person delivers your work to the people who are qualified to do it, and then they get it done. So it just makes it a little bit more of a smooth transition in some instances. My business is going okay, and I have my website, but I'm not getting ranked on Google. So some people already have a website. They may have set it up themselves. They may have paid a professional person to do it. Either way, it's great. That website must be optimized for Google to be able to rank it. So optimized means things like going behind the scenes and making sure your keywords are in the meta tags, your descriptions, your titles, your content. Your content is one of the most important things about your website. Your images, that they're also are tagged and everything the right way as well, because this all helps for Google to see you as an authority. Now, so once you have a website, you need to do something with it to make sure that, one, people see it, and that two, Google notices it as well. And that's where your SEO packages and social media packages or any other packages that you may see fit to do with it, that will then start pushing your website up so that Google starts to see that there's a lot of things happening in there, because you have to keep adding content. And it can be time consuming for some people, especially if you're creator stars and you're very busy. And that's why you go to outsourcing, because then you get someone to help you do all that behind the scenes where you can focus on the most important things. I'm going to give you a bit of an idea later of what is behind the scenes in social media, so you can see the work involved rather than just people telling you that a package is so much and they do this, this and that, and it means nothing to you. So that's to help you rank your website, and then in turn people start finding your website. My business is mainly social orientated, so it needs engagement. That's where you go to the social media packages, and we've gone a little bit different to most companies out there. We offer a variety of packages. So, you know, some people might just want social SEO, search engine optimization. Some people want to focus on social media and have more engagement, so the social media is a bigger part of it. And some need a balance of both. So we've supplied the whole lot, because we understand that maybe your site doesn't need to be so much showing up on front page Google, but you need people to be finding you through social engagement. So we set things up to show that there's different ways that you can actually do that to make it work for your business, no matter what your business actually is. Yep. And it's important too as well, down the bottom there, how many keywords that you want to rank for. And this is what most packages are based on. If it's a small number of keywords, the lower the price. As your keywords get bigger, the higher the price then comes in, because it takes a lot more work, because you have to do the same thing to each keyword to rank it as much as possible. Just to give you an idea there, on the side here, one of the things we came up with, that everybody would see all these things here that companies do for you in behind the scenes for social media and that, but half of it makes no sense. You don't even know what it means. So you're sort of like, well, how do I know if I need that? So we've actually put some things there to show you what each one means and what happens with it as they're doing it, and also why the keywords and the pricing match together in regards to what they mean. So there's a little eye thing there that you click on that shows each thing that's happening. So it gives you I don't know, some people are big picture, some people are fine detail. I like to understand, even though I'm big picture, I like to understand what people are doing when they're doing stuff for me. So that's why we designed it that way. And there's the packages we talked about with the high-end SEO, high-end social media, and then the combined, so it's mixed. So it gives you guys a chance to, you know, work out what one is going to fit the business that you're in. Not saying like that, you know, you have to go with these ones here. It's just I'm giving you an idea of the flexibility you can use through when you want to market your business online. Am I going too fast for anybody? A little, sorry. I'll calm down. There we go. Okay, so number 4, I don't have a website, so I don't know what to start with or what I want on a website. We get quite a few where people are just not too sure what to do, how to start, where to go. Sometimes it takes them a few months to get there. So I like to talk to people to get a picture of what they're doing so I get the image in my mind. And there are different things that you can do. You know, you don't always have to come up with something to make it happen. You know, if you get someone who's very creative, and I do this with my team, I give them the picture of what we want, and they can go ahead and create something, and it's amazing what they come out with sometimes. It's like, wow, that's really cool. And then you can just adjust it, you know, to what you want. So, you know, I tell people, don't sweat on the small stuff, you know, get out of your mouth what you want, and then see what can come back to you, you know, to create the very thing that you're spending time, you know, trying to mingle in your mind to work out what to do. Otherwise, you know, find something out there that you may like, and you can get something similar made to it as well. You can get custom made, or you can find themes that actually match something that you want to do, so to make it a bit more easier. But then, you know, when you sort of really know what you want, then that gets down to the nitty-gritty that can be created as well. So don't sweat the small stuff. Does anyone know what a mock-up is, when you get a mock-up done on a graphic, and then they can present that and actually make a website out of it also? Yep. We don't have enough work to hire anybody on a full-time basis. That's the difference between, you don't have to have someone full-time if you don't want. When you can find the packages, you start small, and then as you find you're growing with your business and everything like that, then you can add more hours to it or something, until eventually, if you want to get a full-time and you've got the time to train, then you can hire a full-time VA, and then they're working for you. Some people travel to where their VAs are and get to meet them and everything like that. The only thing that I find that can make it a little bit hard is if they hang around. It's really hard when you train someone, and then that even happens to us in the company as well, because a lot of people in Philippines, for example, they do a lot of BS after their names in schools and everything. I call it bullshit, but they have to go really into getting, I think they go 23, 24, sometimes 25 years old into school for nursing and doctors and lawyers and all that, and then they come out and they go and get a job in an outsourcing company because there's no work there for them. But if something comes up for them, then they're gone quick as a wink. So it's hard sometimes to really keep people for a long time. And that's the thing that I hate, because I like long-termers, I like dealing with people, and I build a relationship. So our company is like family to me, and it actually hurts me, you know, if somebody goes, you know, especially if they've been there for a while. So I try to keep them as long as possible. I bribe them. Not really. I tie them to their desks. But we've got a thing happening where I want to make them share profit type of thing, so that they have the interest in the company to really, one, implement more and stay longer and grow with the business as well. How do I know who to choose to outsource to? Well, it's important that you know who's behind the scenes of whoever you're dealing with. If it's a company, if it's a freelancer. I've got quite a few websites. On one of them, I particularly make it a little bit funny and humorous and cartoony, and I have videos of all my staff speaking on the jobs that they do. Because one of the things when I'm dealing business with someone, I like to know who I'm dealing with, and it's really hard with the outsourcing because they can put up a face and you don't know what's behind. You don't know that it may be someone working at home who has power outages, typhoons going through, so there's often floods and stuff like that. And you don't know until you're actually caught in with it, and then all of a sudden the excuses start to happen. So make sure you do your background check. What resources do they have? Find out what the internet, especially the internet, it's so important in the Philippines. We spend $3,000 a month on our internet, and for the Philippines that's actually very expensive for third world country. But there's so many problems that happen over there that we need to do that. So we've got backup on backup on backup, and also power generator as well. We're lucky we're in an area where there's not too much to do with the typhoons. We just sort of get the floods. But I experienced actually one recently. I was flying to America and I got to Manila and a typhoon came through and our planes got cancelled. And I was stuck in the hotel right in the middle of it. And I thought the whole building was going to be ripped apart. It was quite scary. But anyway, it was finally something I got to experience. So be careful too if they're working for other people, because sometimes they take on too much work. They'll just take whatever they can get, then drag their family in to help if it's sort of like a home business or whatever. And also be careful of the translation, because there are different meanings on things that you say. So us as an Aussie, we can say one thing, because especially we have slang ways of talking, and it can have a completely different meaning to someone else without us even realising the second meaning. But when we get told the meaning, we say, oh yeah, it does mean that. So I always get my staff to often repeat things back, especially if they're talking to the client themselves, to make sure that the understanding is there. How do I know who to choose to outsource continued? So it's the same thing. But Philippines are beautiful people, well-meaning, but bottom line, loyalty is not a big part of their life. Family does come first, and often they will tell you what they think you want to hear as well. So you've just got to be aware of that if you're dealing in the Philippines. It's just a bit about my team. Their family, some of the things I've had to sort of get used to, but really frustrate me, is like personal matters. You know, the job comes last. Seriously. I've got to go and pay a bill. Well, why doesn't someone in the house that's sitting there not doing anything go and pay it, that you have to take a day off work, you know, to do it? So we're implementing a lot of things that people have to come into work before they go and do anything personal, so we don't deny them. But an emergency has to be an emergency, not just going paying a bill or something. So there's lots of things that happen in their culture that to some people it's like, oh my God, you know, how can they be like that? Because, you know, the way I've been brought up is to work really hard, and of course you're getting paid to work, so you have to be there. So it's really hard to see in a different culture where the concept of the way you think is completely different, and then trying to either adapt to it or hopefully getting them to adapt to how you want to be, because they're working in a Western Philippine culture as well. How do you act with outsourcers? If you're dealing direct with the Philippine outsourcer, like I said, please always ask them to repeat the instructions back to you. It can save you time in the long run, so they don't misinterpret instructions. Keep your instructions plain and simple. Some people write emails to get something done and they've got all the chit-chat of everything sort of around it. So everything that we have come through, we actually clean it out, and before we send it to the outsourcer to do the work, so that all they're seeing is the exact instructions on what they need to do. Because sometimes if you ask, say a Filipino for example, 3 questions in one paragraph, they'll answer only one, because it'll be whichever one they see, the first or the last or something. Sometimes it can just be too much. So I actually number all my questions sometimes and just say, make sure you answer all the above, you know, because I go so fast in my thinking that I ask bang, 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 and then when I come back, they've probably missed half of it or something. So be very clear with your instructions, and keep your chats with them as chats and your instructions a little bit separate, and number them step by step. So you use parentheses, commas, italics, so they can pick up the different nuances. Too much text in one block can be a bit much to read, and stuff can be missed, so always break it down as well. Always have your instructions via email, especially if you use Skype, because things can get lost amongst Skype. So it's good if you give instructions through Skype to then actually email it as well, so you've got your backup. And praise, they really need praise. So, you know, the more you praise, sometimes the harder that they will put their effort in to work for you as well. They do find it hard to say no, so if you ask them to do something, they may not tell you that they don't know how to do it. They'll go off for about 2 weeks and try and do it, and then come back and say, sorry, I don't know how. So, you know, if you're dealing with freelancers or home-based or something, ask them if they know how to do it first before you actually give them the job. Why should you use outsourcers? Is there anybody here who doesn't think they should use outsourcers at all? They've got a sort of business maybe that you don't need it. Anybody who hires staff or well, actually, pretty much most of you would be, especially when you're, like, if you're a creator or something, you're so busy creating ideas and things like that that you just want to get all of it started and then get someone else to finish it for you while you just get moving forward, you know, with what you do. And I'm like that myself. I'm not a finisher. So I need people who take my ideas and run with them in the way that I need them to go, because I've got the vision. And I don't want the vision changed, obviously, unless somebody gives me something really good that can make it better. But so you all, you know, need someone to help you create what you want to create, so you can focus on the bigger things and they can focus on the smaller things. Hiring outsourcers is a lot cheaper than probably what it is in each of your own countries as well. So that then, you know, enjoys you to be able to have a life and spend more time with your family. Unlike the old days where, you know, the husbands used to spend hours in the office and the wife would be at home, you know, like, where's my husband? You know, I did marry him, but I don't see him often, and now vice versa as well, sometimes with the corporate women as well. Keep your patience when dealing with another country's culture. Don't expect it to be perfect, because it won't be. It can only be close to that when you hire someone in your own country for much more, and sometimes then it's not. So appreciate the opportunity to use something like this and allow for trainings and learnings, because that's what can help improve it. And over time it starts to get easier. Talking of culture, is there one? I think I've been through that already. You bet there is, and man, it can be frustrating. So depending on the country, I think sort of with Indian, sometimes the language is even more harder because their English is different. So there's a lot of frustrations that come up with that. The Philippines, the English is fairly good, but as I said, it can be taken in a completely different way. Religion, lots of public holidays. Some of them just come at the last minute. I only find out like 2 days before that there's a non-working holiday coming or something. So, you know, just to be aware that, you know, there's a lot of different things that happen, and maybe try and find all that out, you know, before you get too involved, so that at least you're prepared in advance rather than being taken by surprise. What services can be outsourced? What can't be? Pretty much most things. Not all one company can do every single thing. There are some things on there that we actually don't do. I put coffee maker and nurse and so on, because we do have nurses, but you know, I guess seriously, you can always bring an outsourcer to your house if you wanted a nurse. So you just have to find the right company. Some specialise in certain fields, some cover a broad range of fields, and some cover maybe, you know, just one or two. So, but there are things that, you know, that you can get based around what your businesses are and what you're looking to insert into your business as well. Now, I just wanted to mention that video marketing is starting to play a really big role alongside social media in the market. So a lot of people talk about SEO. We're really big at the moment on social media because we have quite a few things that are making things happen a lot quicker as well. We love doing videos and working with doodle whiteboards and After Effects videos, because when we use them to market them, it's about getting people engaged in what you're showing them, and how you present what your business is quite big. So we're lucky we have a special Homer video program that we use, that depending on the competition of your keyword, we can rank videos sometimes on first, second and third page in the space of 3 or 4 hours. So that's how powerful video marketing is, and I just wanted to bring that to your attention as well, because a lot of people tend to miss a lot of the stuff out there that's working on the market. Homer's just a word I made up. I said we have to call it something, what we do. So it's to do with like Hangout videos. You heard of Hangout? Hangout? Yeah, so it was originally what we do it with is Hangout videos. So we sort of called it like HOM, so I said let's call it Homer. So it's just our brand name for it, just to give it a name. Now, what do I have to do with this one, Sir Shane? Control, Command. I just want to give you a sample of a video, and that's really engaging. And hopefully it's going to work. This is one we had the problem with. This is a doodle whiteboard video. This is one of the things that we like to play with as well. Imagine this is your business. Philippine, I only did this last night. Philippine outsourcers, in fact we only had 8 there I think last week. Every one of these sites is our business. This is the first page of Google. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on page 1. Now hardly any of them is our website. So the first one is Facebook. The second one's one of our websites. The third one is Pinterest, Twitter, YouTube, 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 and YouTube. Now that is domination, for a start, of the internet, but it's domination of social media. And that's how big social media is getting at the moment. Now if we go to page 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 on page 2. And once again, SlideShare, Vimeo, Flickr, that's our website. But it's an internal page of our website. That's our website, another internal page. The same again for the second one, which is our Blogspot, Google, and our other website. So the majority of that is actually social media and how quick it can rank and which ones can rank. So it's really important as well with your social media that you have, when someone clicks on one of your things that are ranking sites or programs, it's really important that what you have on that very first page they see that can then bring someone back to your business. So it must have, it must have your links, it must have something that's eye-catching that says, okay, you might come to something that's just mainly a photo, but is that photo going to be able to then lead them back, to then they can see your internet website or something like that. If you go to page 3, there was only 4 rankings, and they were our different websites as well. So just to show you how big social media is in all of this. And this is one of my websites, Just Simply Help, which is a project that I might get into at some stage. But I've got my team working on it. And they just did a campaign on it to show the increase through social engagement. We don't do, we're very big on organic social media and SEO, so we don't go out and buy likes or anything like that, because in the long run, they actually affect your business big time. You can get penalised. So it's best to have organic, natural engagement. So that's going out looking for people who are related to the niche that you're in and are interested in the niche that you're in, so they start engaging on your social media pages. So it's just to give an idea there. So how do you know how hard someone is working for you? That's my team a year and a half ago at Christmas. All the pictures are the people that were missing at the time. There's actually a few more now. So that's the people behind the scenes. So you can see there are real people there. And yes, they are young. But that's, that's the jobs that they do. Some more stuff behind the scenes to give you an idea is when you're working with outsourcers, you want to get reports and things like that show you what's happening and how fast it's happening. So you get a ranking report, it shows the keywords that you're using, and then also the time frames of what's happening. This client here we've had for 2 years. We've actually kept adding more and more keywords because we've ranked all the first lot that we had up here. It shows 12 and where we are now. So the green is page 1, the yellow is page 2 to 10, but the numbers show you what page that they're on. So, as you can see, you get to see what keywords you're ranking for, and when you do rank for them, how they are when they're on the front page. But the other thing that's just as equally important, which a lot of people don't do, is show the rankings for everything else. So when I talked about video ranking, if you can see those keywords there, most of them are the same keyword, but look how many videos are starting to rank for them. So you can have so many things out there working for you on the internet that can then bring business to you. And this is just so important because we found how huge this is to create so much out there for you that eventually people will be finding you through different means, not just on Facebook, but through social media, including, videos play a big part. There's more. The keywords are just ranking so many times. This is actually using the HOMA program we were telling you about as well. It's important too that you get Google Analytics from your sites that tell you the story of what's happening. So you know if your outsourcing's working for you, they should be able to prove it by who's coming to see your sites, where they're coming from, conversations, behaviour, acquisition, and the audience that comes as well. This one sort of deals as well with, e-commerce. So I think that's on the next one. Yeah, so if you're making sales or things like that, it actually shows your sales and everything that comes through. It actually shows it, on the internet as well. So if anyone has e-commerce online and want to sell things, this is an important report that actually keeps you, can't believe I'm saying actually. I always tell the Philippine staff off for that. They start theirs with actually though. So, so the reports are really important as well for showing sales and what's happening. Okay, so trying to remember what this one was. This is another video. We do After Effects videos. So I just wanted you to see this as well because I love doing different things with video advertising. This is just our promotion, but I just the concept and our video graphics guy and what he's capable of doing as well. The more you have out there that's entertaining and eye-catching, the better it is for you. So the many different things and options that you have, it's really good to have a look at all of them. You didn't see this before, Steve, did you? Shane, sorry. Oh no, that was the one I was talking about with all the fancy stuff on it. So, so if you want to know more, look for this chick. I don't know if you know her or not. And she can be either here in Bali, there in Philippines, or Australia. And even America is actually getting quite big at the moment as well. And that's it. So has anyone got any questions? Sorry, I can't hear. You're Jung?
Young. Just in terms of your outsourcing team, how are you incentivizing them to stay long term? You're giving them profit share.
Yeah, we haven't got into that as yet, but we're very big into passive income. So I do a lot of stuff with Amazon as well, and we have a program with Amazon that can make us bestsellers. So we've got them involved with helping us with that. So they'll profit share in that. They'll become part of that. It's a little bit separate from outsourcing, but we use outsourcing to do it. We do affiliate marketing as well. So everything that we do that creates passive income, they will get a share from.
Right. Okay, that's interesting.
But down the track, there are some of our staff who want stocks.
Who want what?
Stocks.
Oh, stock. Oh, right.
So I have that's a bit further for me at the moment. So I don't know.
So do you have a really good graphics designer? Like, do you have people who are specifically specialise on your team as well?
We have graphic designers. What do I compare them to? I don't know. I mean, some of the stuff they do for me I love, or some of the stuff like that. There are some stuff they do that's crap, and I just keep sending it back and saying, hey, where's your creativity? You can do better than this. So I guess it depends on if they're having one of those days or something like that. So it might even depend on the subject or whatever. So we can get some really good graphics, but is there better out there? Probably. Is there worse? Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So
if we give you specs on a project, you can see whether they are qualified to actually deliver on a particular project or so.
Yeah.
What process would you undertake if I were to outsource my bookkeeping, which is weighing me down? What sort of process would we engage in to sort of hand things over and to get some consistency?
What bookkeeping? Sorry, what was your name?
Brenda. Sorry.
Brenda. That's okay. What bookkeeping was it? Like iLAB, QuickBooks?
It's QuickBooks.
It's QuickBooks. That was one of the things that we actually don't do, but it's not something that we would say no to because I train my staff in everything anyway. So as soon as somebody, like I think when John came on board, he's big into Infusionsoft. So we're now getting our staff fully trained in Infusionsoft. Fusion HQ is another thing out there that's very selected type of thing. So we've done all the training and everything for Fusion HQ, but they've got a new one coming out, so we're going to be doing the training for that. So something for bookkeeping or whatever, if someone's capable of doing it, we would then train them even more. Otherwise, we would just say we couldn't do it.
I wouldn't be opposed to changing software. It's simply the one that I've been using for such a long time. And that's my accountant also uses, so we can.
Yeah.
They know how to operate it as well.
QuickBooks would be more prevalent to Philippines than I took my elbow over there and tried to teach my accounts lady to do it, but it's weird crap. I think I saw my business partner put on Facebook the other day about you pay zero tax in Bangladesh or India or something, 10% here, blah, blah, blah. And then he said 40% or something in the Philippines. And then I wrote there 30% in Australia. so it's very complex. They just seem to want money off you all the time, tax for this, tax for that, and all that sort of stuff. So we've just applied for a 5-year tax-free holiday with the BPO outsourcing thing. So with a bit of luck, we get that. We don't have to pay that tax, but we are paying lots of other tax as well.
What details would you need as specifications to do a little bit of a video like you just did then with the cube and the...
Just your ideas
Right.
and images if you have them. One of the things I'm finding, which is I find very attractive, is because I'm into alternative and health and all that sort of stuff. The clients that we're attracting, I've got hypnotherapy clients, NLP clients from America and Australia, and I've got health and wellness from here in Bali as well. So I don't know whether it's like attracts like or something like that. So I already have the concept of what they want. So it's not hard for me to be able to then say to my staff, this is what they're trying to project or whatever. So it's getting an idea of, I don't know if you know, like someone who's big picture, when you talk to them, they start getting the picture and then they get the ideas as well. I'm a very big ideas person. I woke up the other night in the morning and I have a client with a hypnotherapy site that says, look, I'm not the buyer, so I don't know what to put. So he says, you put what you think would sell to people. I'm like, geez, that's putting it on me. You're supposed to just tell me what you want, So I wake up in the morning and I've got all this stuff going through my head and I went, oh my God, how am I going to remember this? I picked up my phone and I recorded what I felt should be his heading on his website. And it actually came out, and I thought this should actually be on a video because it came out in hypnotic, sort of talk, so it went with the hypnotherapy side of things. And just got my ideas based on what he wanted to do. So it's a bit of a mixture of both. If you're dealing like direct with me, for example, it's getting the ideas and getting the images or whatever, and then if you've got them, if you don't, it doesn't matter, we'll find them.
And what's the sort of average price point for getting a short video like that produced and working?
If you did something just for and ranking it as well, or just producing it? Oh, I don't know. I'd have to get the picture of what you want. Most of the stuff we do are in a package, so it's never been isolated to a set price. So I'd have to really think on that one and work it out. Sorry, with that direct.
So if we wanted to give you video files, for example, to edit or package up in a way that is able to be disseminated appropriately on various channels, because their files are really big, how do you get those files to your location?
The videos, we deal with the Homer package like that for ranking for quite a few different keywords, is probably about 8 minutes of the video is the maximum. That's really good, otherwise there can be a problem. So depending on this, I'm just going to go without knowing what you're talking about. So if you had a video that was like an hour, for example, what you would do is you would create a small video to complement that video that would then direct people to that video. So to do something like this, you would make up the video, and the thing behind how we do this is it ends up with 5 videos with different endings and different beginnings, different keywords, but the description is mixed with similar but with different changes to it. So that then when it ranks, your video should be made enough to draw the person in and then divert them. Okay, I want to know more about this. So that needs to be done in that format to say, well, to see the rest of it, now come here. That would be a way you could use that type of video marketing.
Yeah, I'm just talking about if we had raw video files for your team to edit.
Yeah.
How do you get those raw video files over to you? Dropbox, okay.
How big would they be?
Well, I don't know. I'm just, yeah.
You
And do you use Apple? Do you use Mac or PC primarily?
I
your
use
team?
Mac, my team a PC.
Okay.
Yeah. Dropbox is usually the main
The
thing. If something's
vehicle?
really big, I mean, and anything can go in Dropbox. I mean, I've got videos galore, quite big sizes. Otherwise, mail big file is another way. Big mail file or something like that.
MailChimp or something.
Yeah, there's different ways out there, but I find Dropbox is the best. As long as you've got good internet, to upload and download. Or you have, do you put them on YouTube?
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes putting them on YouTube, we just download them from YouTube as well.
Right. Okay.
And then we can do whatever needs to be done with them.
Hi, my name's William.
Hi, William.
Do you do any outsourcing work for doctors, medicos?
No.
So you've got alternative health.
Alternative health. I'm just trying to think back, sorry, if we've done anything. No, we haven't.
So
Doesn't mean that we wouldn't.
I'm really specifically interested in knowing whether you've got anything happening with holistic medicos, holistic medicine.
Holistic as in...
General practitioner who's specialising in integrative health, holistic health.
No, I've got... I'm talking to some people at the moment that are a little bit in that niche, but I don't know if they've got doctor written after them or anything.
So any other professional verticals like legal?
No legal.
No. Okay. So your client mix, if I was to ask you what your client mix currently is, I get that there's some alternative health practitioners, and that's a pet area for you, or an area that's close to your heart. What else have you got?
It's just an area that seems to come to me. I don't know why. That's why I said maybe like attracts like. I'm not sure. Maybe it's the circles that I'm in as well. We have training. We do training Prezi files and everything like that for someone who does training in the mining industry. So we've had a couple of people that do that. We do real estate as well. We organise someone who gets maps done, and they allocate all the little selling of the land and everything like that. So we do some stuff with that, and they're looking at redoing their whole website. What else? Internet marketing. We get quite a few because obviously that's where I mix as well, and just probably small markets, people.
And all primarily in e-commerce.
No, not all of them. Only a few of them are in e-commerce.
Okay.
Most of them are just trying to drive traffic because some of them are in the alternative, their own business. So they're looking at, a lot of people are looking at trying to turn working in the job to online marketing, so they can do more Skype coaching and put trainings on the website, so it takes less of them being physically involved and producing more online, so it goes out to a further audience rather than one-on-one. So that's some of the things that are happening at the moment. We only have a few e-commerce.
Okay, thank you.
Who in Perth have I got? Well, I had Perth Painter. I've actually don't mingle very much in Perth. I've got a business in Perth called Just Simply and Local, and what we're about to do with that is it's been on the sideline, but we've been ranking local businesses now for about 2 years. So so depending on the area, I might rank for so chiropractors, for example, in 3 or 4 suburbs. So if somebody types in Joondalup chiropractors, we're getting the business, our website, to be on front page Google, and then we're going to go out and lease them out to any business that deals with chiropractic around Joondalup. So Perth is in the very near future about to become a big market, but it's not a market I've actually gone looking for, because while I've been building up the business and running a couple of other businesses as well, I haven't gone looking for business. It's just whatever's come to me. So just recently I went to America for some a workshop on Amazon training and networking as well too. So now I'm just going to start networking out there a bit, but it's just networking as I go out and meet people. Sometimes we get business through our websites are ranking, so we get business, but I find unless people get to meet you as well and know you, it's well, no, actually we've got Product Photo in Canada, a guy from Canada who does photography, and he just found us through the internet as well too. So we get some business from the website, but unless the people really engage with you and letting you know what you want and starting a conversation to then say, well, look, here's some ideas you can do. Some people would just write, so how much is this, and then so you sort of write back and say, well, I need a little bit more information than that so I can get the full picture and then give you the benefit of, hey, you don't just look at this because it will do so much more for you. So a lot of people don't go that step further. So you're from Perth. Now, what did you do in Perth? Oh, that's right, yeah, I just heard about your social media thing. That's great, yeah. Yeah. What suburb is it in? Oh, okay, because we haven't done, just to let you know, that's what we do with local businesses. Just Simply and Local is my Perth business, and we rank before we actually release out the website. So we've got about 41 sites ranking in Perth at the moment. But I've just been busy. Maybe you want to help? So, but yeah. I just don't spend enough time there to actually even go out and do much for business because I'm in and out so fast. So I don't want to promote too much unless I'm there face to face as well. Any other questions? Aries. What's yours? 14th. Oh, you must be one too, are you? Oh, really? Oh, you know what we like then. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I have a HR who's a Leo. Oh my God, do we fight? So as long as you can take structural criticism, you'll be right, because she won't take, if I ask her to do something, she has to, yes, but, and then if she can't get her own way, she stamps her foot, like, don't you stamp your foot at me! Okay, so I think that's it, yeah? I hope actually I just revamped that presentation to being a little bit different to the norm, so I hope it gelled with what you guys were wanting to know or understand about outsourcing. If it didn't, give me some feedback, structural criticism, whatever, because I want to make sure that I'm providing what people want as well.
Great. All right. Oh, another question?
Yeah, just to continue my previous question. Although you don't use QuickBooks, what process would you use to transition my bookkeeping across to your guys?
If we took on something like that, which I'd have to have a look at to make sure that we could, we'd probably do QuickBooks for you. Not a problem.
Okay, no, the software is irrelevant. What process would you undertake? How would I educate your people into what my needs were and what had to be done?
Would you come over?
So take a little trip to the Philippines.
Yeah. No, I am joking with that, but seriously, people do come over. They're quite welcome to come over and meet the team and and do any training with them if they want. But normally it would be through training through Skype and training through via like Word documents or something like that, or via video as well. So some things, I don't know if you use Jing. Jing's really good for doing quick videos on certain things you want done. So it just depends on what business. Was it around?
I provide services for document management, storage, and
So you do it for other people.
I do it for other people.
So it
Yeah.
would be for different clients, would it?
No, it wouldn't be that. The work I'd need doing is my own personal or my own
Oh, okay.
company
Yeah.
bookkeeping.
Okay.
Mm.
So just through video training and Skype and sending whatever you would need for them to understand.
And scanning invoices and bits like that, or making them available for inputs and so on.
Yeah. Scanning, you can actually just nowadays
Take a
just
photo,
take
yeah.
photos, and because you always think, oh my god, I haven't got a scanner, and then I remember take a photo,
Mm.
just email it. So
Okay. Thank you.
welcome.
Yeah, Sarena, I've got a question, and that is how does the project management, like you said, you have a sort of a project manager would be assigned to you. So how does that
How
work?
does that work?
Does that
Well,
like that becomes the main point of contact when you
Yeah,
when
she's
you've
the
got
main
a
point
project?
of contact because
Yep.
she's the one that will understand you the most. You make
Yep.
sure that she has all the information,
Yep.
and then she delegates the work. Now, sometimes you may get to talk to one of the other people who are working on your job,
Yep.
but to save, their focus is just work and making sure it gets done and getting
Yep.
done in understanding it through her interpretation, and then she interprets. I mean, they speak English,
Yep.
but her English is so much better as well,
Right.
if that makes sense.
Yep.
And in that, not saying it's perfect, you still have to make sure that the instructions, are followed through. But she's quick, she's smart,
Yep.
and you always get the ones that are a little bit higher up than the others. There are people who just tell them what to do when they do it,
Yep.
and there are people who get what you want and
Okay.
can then lead the others.
So the project manager would kind of help you define what you want.
Yes,
They'd help you sort that out, and then they would deal with the
the staff.
explain that to the staff who are doing the
And then,
job.
of course, they would be checking their work as
Yeah.
well.
Okay. So if you came in on, say, you started out, small in a VA package or something, so you'd still be dealing with the project manager, or would you have it?
Yes.
Okay.
Or
And
not.
then something else crops up, and you want you want something else done, you want a video done or something.
Project manager, and then
just
she
talk to
sends
that.
it to the department. There
Okay.
are some on the website. It shows all the things that can be
Yep.
done, but obviously specialist and specific things.
Yep.
When it goes a little bit bigger, like
Yep.
the videos and that, they're quotes.
That's a quote for a
There's
specific
certain
job.
things,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they do a
that's
lot of things because if there's something we don't know, we
Yeah.
train them straight away.
Yeah.
It's just that they're just at a certain level with each thing.
Terrific. Yeah. Okay, and things like turnaround times and so on. For things like, say, you wanted copy done, what would you expect to be a typical turnaround time for getting, getting some copywriting for your website done?
There's a difference between copywriting and content writing.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we
And
don't do
SEO and all that sort of
copywriting
stuff.
because
Yeah.
that's really specific for some people.
Okay.
We do content writing articles and things like that.
Okay.
So most articles, it can be turnaround time, like going in queue, obviously. But usually within the day if it's urgent, or a
Yep.
couple of days if it's not.
Okay. What about researching sort of a topic? Do you have sort of VAs or people who are capable of doing being pretty smart and going and you go and say go and research this topic and come back to me with the top the sort of top people in the world in a particular topic or something?
Yep.
They could do that.
They do. They search for details of companies
Yep.
and stuff, and can do databases and,
Yep.
and all that sort of stuff. There's pretty much not much they don't know what to do. It just may be they stump them anything because what we don't know we go out and find out anyway.
Yep.
So so I can't, unless you give me something, I can't think of anything that would stump us.
Okay, that's good. All right. Any other final questions? Oh, Tim.
Same with Amazon and did a training course. Just a quick wrap.
Amazon
The-
training course.
Yeah, with the Amazon, there's a group of internet marketers out there who have designed an Amazon package which you purchase. Part of that package was to go to this training session, and through the package that they have, they enable you to put products on Amazon and turn them into bestsellers. So there's a program, it's internal, and it's into a group of people. It's called ASM. So the things that are behind that then enable to show you have to use some stuff that they have that's particular for Amazon, and then the process behind what you do then to rank, because there's a special way of selling your products on Amazon. If you can put your product on there, it's really hard for you to get seen amongst everybody else. So the tools that we have enable you to become like a bestseller, and then put you out there. So over a period of, like, for example, some of the people, a friend of mine actually in the internet marketing has a joint supplement that he rebranded for himself, and he was selling that. He started last October at around $5,000 a month. And then through the process as it's built up, and then when I met him in Las Vegas, he jumped up to $25,000 a month. So now it's all about trying to get your stock there. So we're working on some stuff ourselves that we're going to put. But we realise over a period of time that the more you start doing, then all of a sudden it goes bang. And I met some people from Queensland who are doing $75,000 a month through Amazon. And they wouldn't tell me what the product was. So. And there's lots of people out there doing it. So in the group that we're in, I'm often seeing messages, because obviously I'm slow at being busy. These people can just focus on it. Someone just says, oh my God, I just put my order out there and I've run out of stock, or something like that. And they've only just started at the same time, as we did. So it's amazing stuff.
Is that's typically with other people's stock, or is it sort of things that are unique to them?
Well, the program teaches you how to get supplies through, like buying stuff through China. So you can buy. You could buy your own, buy stuff and brand it. I've got stuff being made here in Bali.
Okay.
So, because you have to be careful that there's so many things you have to be careful of, that if it's a toy, that it's good for kids and there's nothing that will harm them.
Yeah.
You don't get to see the product when it's going from China, but people are making a lot of money from it.
Yeah.
So you could do it with your salon?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have your own products?
No.
Yeah.
But it's one of the things that in Tim's case that Roger suggested to Tim as something he could. But by the way,
to make his own product.
By the way, Tim had a great win overnight.
Yeah, you told me before on social media.
Amazing. Yeah. So he's So he's Roger's star pupil at the moment. Roger's telling people in the States about Tim. Yeah. Caroline's getting a lot of credit because she helped him with a Facebook ad. But what he suggested for Tim was that Tim could, if he wants to sort of think about more online, was even with the products that he has in the Weller and Schwarzkopf and all those kinds of things, that some people are actually marketing them through Amazon.
Yeah.
Just as a.
But many are marketing them through Amazon. That's the thing. So how do you get yours up in front of those?
Yeah.
That's what we've been going through.
I sort of think probably more locally than worldwide. Just try to get name out there locally first.
For your name, or?
Well, yeah, just in general, maybe your own product line.
Yeah. And how my friend did it with the supplement was he found a product, and then he got the ingredients and he added something to it and then rebranded it completely for himself.
Okay.
So, but what he added was really good as well. How do you people do it normally, I guess? I don't know. It's being done out there, and the product is good. He's got really good reviews, because if you get bad reviews, you're not going to do very well at all. So your reviews are really important, and they teach you all about that as well.
So you fly to America and do an Amazon package, and they sell you the program, and then you...
Well, I know we actually bought the program before, and we've been doing the training for the program, but we took the opportunity to go to America I took it to network as well, because I think sometimes I sit too much in the Philippines, and to meet the other people and make sure we get all the tips, the tidbits of what everybody else is doing, so that, we can make sure that we can do the same thing. Now, our product that we're doing at the moment is we do beanbags things, and we've done a gaming chair, which is also good for pregnant women and people with acid reflux. And so to kick-start ours off, we are going to actually offer it like for $1, which is a loss, but maybe about the first 30 for $1, so that we can get our reviews in. And then once your reviews start, and then we start doing all the other stuff, then it'll start moving up, and then next minute, bang, it'll just take off.
Reviews the important part. Yeah.